Hey everybody, namaste. Welcome back to another 20-minute video. Let's get started in child's pose. So let's start this 20-minute practice by taking really deep and long breaths in and out through our nose, so that every inhale we're filling our lungs completely, and every exhale we're letting everything empty out. Deep breath in, exhale it all out. Just keep breathing deep on your own. Trying to establish that foundation to this entire practice. It's just bringing our awareness to something so we can find that place of stillness. So here we'll focus on our breath. Just breathing in really deep. And that way, by paying attention to our breath, we can really listen to what our body is telling us. And your body is really your teacher in this case, and really your instructor and your guide. Your body will tell you how far you need to go in a pose, when to back off, when to give it some more juice. Just listen to your body and go to whatever feels right to you. And although we only have a 20-minute class, we'll try to get into that yogic zone as much as we can. So let's focus in on our breath, and we'll just integrate some movements into that concentration. Inhale, come up to tabletop. Hands and knees. Take your right leg behind you, lift it in the sky. Take your left hand forward, sunbird pose. So try to find some tucking of your tailbone in this pose. So instead of sticking your butt out like so, see if you can find some tucking of your tailbone. Reach your limbs as high as you want. They don't at all have to be super high at all. It just has to be what feels right to you. And we'll hold it there. Keep breathing deep. One more inhale. Exhale, let it go. Switch sides. Left foot to the sky. Right foot forward. Sunbird pose. See if you can evenly distribute the weight between your left hand and your right knee. And see if you can tuck in that tailbone so you don't feel any crunching in your lower back, but you feel lengthening in your entire spine. Keep your neck nice and soft by tucking your chin gently towards your chest. And do whatever else you need to do to feel nice and long and spacious. But whatever you do, just don't lose that deep breath. Keep breathing deep. One more inhale. Exhale, let it go. Inhale one more time. Exhale. Come to downward facing dog. Take a few moments here to find your pose. Don't find the pose that someone else found or that you found yesterday. Just do the pose that you're finding now. Feel out what feels right to you. And once you find it, just hold it. And just keep with that deep, deep breath. One more inhale. Exhale. Inhale your right foot to the sky. Exhale your right foot between your hands. Spin your left foot back so your toe is 90 degrees out. And come up to warrior two. So windmill your hands up. So to warrior two, your limbs are pulling far apart. Your right knee isn't dipping inwards, but it's pressing outwards, so it's trying to expand that right pelvis and hip. And your left hip is doing the same. Instead of collapsing inwards, it's trying to expand outwards. So both aspects and both sides of your hips are expanding outwards. Your right hand is extending forward and your left hand is trying to pull back. So see if you can feel an even weight distribution between your left foot and your right foot. And pull back with your left hand as much as you're pulling forward with your right hand. Keep your torso and your nipples pointing towards the wall. But if you can, if it feels nice, turn your head and with your eyes look at your right middle finger. So sink in as deep as you want, as deep as 90 degrees in your knee. But keep your even weight distribution on your feet so that your pelvis is getting a nice even stretch. Inhale and one more time. Exhale, right forearm to your right knee. Left hand comes to the sky. Side angle pose. Modified side angle. So see if you can feel that nice opening along your left side body as you reach up to the sky. And be mindful of your right shoulder, that your shoulder isn't collapsing into your neck like this. Just keep pressing into that forearm so there's a lot of space in your neck and shoulder. Inhale here. Exhale. Inhale, take your left fingers and your left arm over your left ear. Extended side angle pose. And just breathe in really deep. See if your knee is still shooting outwards and your inner pelvis is still expanding instead of collapsing inwards. Reach even farther to get all that space between your ribs. And feel free to drop out at any time. Have that strength to back off when you need to, instead of just feeding your ego about what you should be doing or comparing yourself to others. Inhale, hand back in the sky. Exhale. Inhale, come out, back up to warrior two. Exhale, windmill the hands down. Come onto your ball of the left foot. Come onto the palm of your left hand or your fingertips. Twist to the right hand to the sky. Twisting lunge. Or just a spinal twist variation. And keep breathing deep. Take one last inhale here. Exhale, right hand to the ground. Drop onto your left knee. And lean back and push your right knee forward. And flex your toes towards your face. I'm just gonna put this timer back on. And just breathe. Take nice, deep, deep breaths. If any time it's too much sensation, then just exit the pose. Or just back off a little bit by leaning forward. If not, then just stay here. We won't be here for too much longer. Just 2 more breaths. See if you can feel that your crown of your head is lengthening forward past your toes. So you're creating length even in this forward fold. Okay, next inhale, come on back up. Swing your right knee back to meet your left knee. Press up, downward facing dog. Nice job. So if that was your first time doing that pose, Warrior 2, there's a lot of technical aspects about it that we can go on for a long time about. But really the main concept behind it is just expansion. Strength and expansion, but also softening. So we'll try that again with the other side. Left leg to the sky. Exhale, left leg between your hands. Turn your right foot flat, about 90 degrees. Circle your hands up to they're parallel to the ground and sink into your hips. So again, with all these technical things that exist, that's fine, but the main thing is just to feel that expansion in your chest, feel that expansion in your hips. Just see if you can just spread wide. Instead of your knee collapsing inwards, see if you can just, with your muscle, just expand it outwards. And instead of your right hip turning inwards, see if you can expand that outwards as well. And just as there is as much strength to go forward even more, have that strength in softness to pull yourself back a little bit. So as much as there's a pull with your right hand, there's a pull with your left hand. So it's creating a nice balance of energies. And this is called Warrior 2. And just like with any good warrior, should know when to pull back and when to exercise restraint and discipline. Same thing here. Feel your ability to pull back when needed and let go, as well as your energy of pushing forward when needed. Just breathe really deep. We'll take 2 more breaths here. See if you can keep your eyes also, if you want, fixed at your middle finger, your left middle finger. That'll help focus your gaze. Come on to your forearm to your left knee. So forearm to your left knee, right arm to the sky. Side angle. Modified side angle pose. So just like with the other side, we want to be careful of a couple things. So a couple of you may have noticed that your shoulder is collapsed like this. Push in with your forearm so you create that space between your head and your shoulder. Reach your right arm to the sky. And be mindful that your knee is moving in the direction of outwards. It doesn't have to go outwards, as your hips might be really, really tight. But just move in the direction of outwards and see if you can just consciously make that effort to expand your hips. Same thing with this side. Instead of your right hip coming inwards, you're twisting it outwards and having that expansion. Right hand to the sky. A couple more inhales and exhales. Inhale. Come on back to Warrior 2. Inhale again. Exhale, windmill your hands to the ground. Come onto your to your right toes. Put your right palm on the ground, or stay on your right fingertips, and twist to the left. Left hand to the sky. Again, if it's too much for you, feel free to drop onto your knee now. There's no need to wait for anyone else to take a break. Take a break whenever you need to. Take a couple more inhales, exhales. And exhale, bring your hand to the ground. Drop your right knee and straighten your left leg. Ooh-wee. So straighten it to your own degree. You may want to keep a bend in your left knee. And see if you can use your hands and your fingertips to pull your chest and your neck forward, even though it may not physically move anywhere. Just an energetic pulling and that conscious moving forward to lengthen your top of your head towards your toes. That should create some nice length in your spine, even in this bending position. And just stay here. Again, if it's too much on your hamstring, bend your knee and come out of the pose if it's too much. If not, just see if you can feel that sweet, sweet stretch at the back of your leg. And see if you can feel gratitude for yourself for even trying this, because giving sensation to these areas, to such important areas, is a thing that should be applauded about. Instead of feeding your ego, you're really just tuning into your body and going to the degree that suits you. So congratulations. Rebend your knee. Swing your left knee back to meet your right. Take a breath here. Next exhale, push up, downward facing dog. And take nice deep breaths for our last downward dog. Drop your head low, keeping that breath nice and deep and free. And your next exhale, drop your knees to the ground. Sit up nice and tall, sit on your heels. This is called Vajrasana, or Thunderbolt pose. And just rest here. Take a couple breaths just to reorient yourself. Keeping your spine nice and straight. See if instead of your elbows splaying out, see if you can keep your elbows in line with your thighs and keep your torso nice and tucked in. That should help with your spine and relaxation. Take some nice deep breaths. Cross your legs behind you. Let's sit on your seat. Hug your knees into your chest, giving yourself a nice big hug. That was a challenging sequence, especially if you're new to Warrior 2. Hopefully as time goes on, you'll be able to feel more comfortable with it, and I'll be able to explain it in better ways to hopefully guide you in more appropriate and just in a more understandable way. Fall backwards with your knees hugged in. Give yourself a nice big squeeze. Exhale it out. Not in Shavasana yet, just exhale it out. Lying down flat. Hug your right knee in and gently twist to the left. Just holding it for 2 breaths. Next inhale, come on back up and switch sides. Hug your left knee in, send your right leg out. And twist to the right. Inhale, come on back up. This time squeeze your knees into your chest. Squeeze everything in, bring your head to your knees. One last inhale. Exhale. Shavasana. So thanks guys for sticking with those 20 minutes. I know it's a relatively short amount of time, but it's definitely one that requires some energy and some focus and some attention. So thank you for bringing all your energy to this session, and I'll see you next time. Namaste.